I'm going to start off this review with a random question, but bear with me. Does anyone remember that one Hot Wheels car, El Superfasto? It was like all weird and blue and red was mine one was. And I feel like it was quite a common one, but one that we can all remember the name of. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because it's called the Superfast. But, it's not the only car to be called Superfast. Because Ferrari have also done that. Now, I don't actually think that the car I think I'm talking about is the first car to be called the Superfast. I believe that back in the 1950s, Ferrari had either a road or a race car called the Superfast. But then in 17, they made a car called the 812 Superfast. Now, the 812 was fast. It was a successor to the F12 TDF and F12. They were 730 plus horsepower cars, which was basically the equivalent in whenever they released of, well, very close to fastest car in the world, and the best bit was, they were GTs. So they weren't hyper stripped out, stupid, overpriced cars. They were just the next Berlinetta Ferrari. But then Ferrari took it a step further. Now, this is not the 812 Superfast. But we do have the 812 Superfast. In fact, I have the 812 Superfast. As you can see, it's basically the same model, but it's got a stripe, making this the laziest remodel of a car ever. I could hop onto Blender and make it in about 3 seconds. Dealership Tycoon devs, stop trying to just fill up your roster with rubbish, actually put some effort into making new cars. The worst bit is it's a fake model, so ugh. As if my day couldn't get any worse, I'm driving a fake modelled, well, clone car. This is bloody well better be good. Now, the improved speed variants of Ferrari Berlinettas have sort of got better and better as time went on. Because, well, back when the first Berlinetta Ferrari released, modern Berlinetta Ferrari, there was sort of a gap between the basically that started out with the 512 BB and ended with the F512M. And then so the Ferrari 550 is the first Berlinetta Ferrari. And it didn't really have a fast version. Sure, there was a racing version, the 550 GT, and that was all good, but no road going one. Then the 575 had the Fiorano handling pack, which was sort of a slightly better handling version, but nothing big. Then the iconic 599 came. Now, there was lots of different versions of this. There was the 599 Fiorano, that's just the standard one. The 599 GTB. The 599 GTO, and the 599XX, although we don't talk about that one because it's an XX series, so it barely counts. But the GTB wasn't much better than the standard 599, and the GTO and XX, barely anyone could buy them, so what's the point? It's with the F12 TDF where things start to get really good. Because you can A, actually buy them, and B, it's a proper improvement over the standard car. And it's a similar thing with this, the 812 Competitzione. Ooh, I like saying that, Competitzione. Nice word. just sharpened up, lighter version, little bit more power, I think. Don't quote me on that. And all in all, just the 110% variant of the standard car. Although saying that, these things have sort of been rendered irrelevant recently. You may remember a few weeks ago I was reviewing the Ferrari 296, which has about 10 less horsepower than this, rendering this absolutely useless for the time being. However, when this thing gets replaced, which it will soon, and it will be replaced by presumably a hybrid with even more power, likely a V8, it's going to be powerful. Very powerful. So, we've got that to look forward to. In the meantime, we're just stuck with this. Which, let's be realistic, is not a bad shout. Now, this is a £2 million car, which is quite ludicrous considering the standard 812 is 438 grand. And to be quite honest, it's only a little bit better. It's a bit sharper, it's a bit quicker, but it is not 1.6 million quid's worth better. Because quite frankly, instead of spending that 1.6 million quid over the standard car, look, I could have a McLaren P1, even a Celine S7, Renardi Quattro. This thing really has been put at the wrong price bracket. Now, I say a little bit faster. It is a 270 mile an hour car. But it's all about relative speed. It's like, how do I put this? For a car that is 400% more expensive, it is not that equivalent amount of money's faster. I just feel like I've been a bit ripped off here. However, in its own right, this is actually quite quick. I do like it. Nice and speedy, good feeling from the throttle. Does not really tail off until very close to its VMAX. And even then it only just starts tailing off, and then gets cut off completely by VMAXing. Which is good, actually. I am impressed. This thing is quite good. But in the corners, I actually quite like it. It's pretty good. Or at least it would be if my phone wasn't lagging. You do sort of reach the limit of grip quite easily, but it's got a nice pliant chassis. Very coping suspension, if a little stiff. And all in all, just quite a nice experience. Flows from bend to bend really well as well, like you're connected with this thing. Oh, and the best bit is, when you do reach the limit of grip at a really high speed, it doesn't try and like bounce you off the road, like a lot of cars around this price bracket do. Which is always a positive. You know, not being killed is a good thing. So, this car is essentially very cross-purposed. So let's see, have they taken the big heavy GT and made it into a proper track racer? Let's find out. Right, left here, keep it nice and close to the curb. Okay, not bad. Suspension is working well. Keep it very close to that apex. More power. Oh, I hit the wall accidentally. Oops. Little bit of brakes through the lake turn. And flat for this one is what I wished, but sort of mucked it up. 31.47, that's a very respectable time. But is it worth all that money? I don't know. So, yeah, I think I have to agree with myself. This is not worth the price hike. Seriously, you can get pretty much some of the fun from the base 812. It's a reused model and I'm really unhappy with it. But what are your alternatives? Personally, here's your best bet right here. BMW E21, E30, 323i Group 5. This is your best bet. It's a brilliant car, and it's a classic car, which makes it even better. It's a bit ridiculous looking, but what's life if you can't be a bit childish? Also, it's got this really nice livery that you can customise. So, points, points, and points. On that bombshell, I will see you all tomorrow with a review of another fake model, this time from Lamborghini. It's actually a really popular car, so stay tuned for that.